Hello everyone out there. Welcome to my studio here in Ovid, Michigan. It's Ronda Wade and I'm coming to you with our day 2 of our summer stamp camp. So we have 3 days in a row where I will get to come and craft and create with you and create 3 projects from scratch. Tomorrow we're gonna have 4 projects. So yesterday we had 3. In case you missed yesterday, let me show you what we made. The first thing we did was we made this gorgeous card with a really neat textured background. That's actually really, really easy to do. We are featuring the Plentiful Plants Suite, which is so much fun. It reminded me when I was using it, and I actually dove into it. So first, let me tell you, my friend Ange and I are doing this together as partners. So she designed 5, I designed 5. She's so talented, and we're actually really good friends and love working together. So when we decided that we were going to do a summer stamp camp together, so we brainstormed ahead of time, and we were trying to come up with what suite we were going to use. And this is the one that she picked out, actually. And I was like, sounds good to me. It looks like I'm going to love it. But then when I got it in and I started to look at it, I was like, oh no, like look at this. There's too many pieces, right? This is the framelits. And I'm like, that's just gonna be too tough for me, Ange. Those of you who know me know that I am a much more of a simple stamper. I don't like a lot of fussy stuff, right? So I was like, I can't do it. So then she's like, okay, we'll pick something else. Well, long story short, I'm like, you know what, I gotta give it a try and see, because I saw some samples from people and they looked really cute. So long story short, I fell in love with this bundle. It's not too difficult. It does take some things or maybe a couple little tedious steps than I would normally do, but it's so worth it. It's almost like I felt like I was playing with like paper dolls when I was a little girl, and you'd have all your pieces and you'd put it together, and there's just such a huge range of what you can do with them. So I am actually pulling you guys up here. I gotta mute myself. On my computer, so I can see your comments today as they come through. And so those of you that purchased this in advance, there was 132 of you that purchased the kit from the US, and then Ange also sold it in Canada. You guys can follow along with me. You should already have your paper and your supplies, your embellishments, and ready to go. The rest of you can create on your own. That's what we come here for, is to help you to get creative, take a break. This is a summer stamp camp, right? Like we need to take a camp, take a break from life, and just have fun with it, right? So this was one of our cards yesterday. And so anyway, all that being said, that was a little wordy there, was that I love this bundle. It's been so much fun. I've actually created lots more with it than just these 10 projects. So here was another one we did yesterday. This one reminds me of what belongs in like, do you guys ever watch those where they fix up houses, you know, and renovate kitchens? This is like what is so trendy and popular right now. I'm trying to get this look in my kitchen. I love it. This card is so beautiful. So we made this one yesterday. And then we made this, remember the little package of 4 note cards. So they're all beautiful. So you got the acetate box too. And then the note cards, again, are something so useful to have those little quick ones that you can just shove into a package. And we made these 4 cute little note cards. So that was yesterday's. You can go back and watch that video. I've had a bunch of people message me about where they can get the tutorials. The tutorials are for those who paid for the class, so I already emailed all of them out. And then I have a website called Creative Corner. I've had it for actually 7 years. 7 years. So it's been around for a long time. We have well over 1,000 members on there. And Creative Corner is where I post all of my tutorials, all of my retreats, camps, classes, and so does Ange too. She's a partner with me on there. Plus I have a couple other really talented demonstrators who help me. So we post like 16 different exclusive projects on there. So they're not anywhere for free. They are for people who pay for the event. So if you want tutorials of everything that I do, then Creative Corner is the place to go to for that. So we posted these yesterday on Creative Corner. All right, so let's jump in. I think everybody is here. Before we begin into the crafting, I want to announce yesterday's winner. So every day during the summer stamp camp, based on your comments and your sharing this video, we picked a random winner, and Arlena was the one who picked today's, and she picked our comment number on our screen, number 55, and that goes to Cindy Owen. So congratulations, Cindy Owen. You will be getting a little surprise package with some fun embellishments inside, and I will just need for you to message me your address. I will send you a message too in case you're not watching today. But so same thing goes today. Tomorrow, before I start our last summer stamp camp, I will be drawing a winner based on, again, your comments, and so get involved with me. Give me your hearts, your thumbs up, and share it. Hello, Miss Lois. Thank you guys for sharing, and we will do a drawing for that too. All right, so let's jump in and get started. We have 3 more projects to show you today. One of them was designed by my friend Ange McKay, so I've not even made it. I have to follow along the tutorial with you guys. And then 2 of them were ones that we designed here in my studio. So I'm gonna turn you down to my work surface, and we are going to jump in. So our first card today is, I'll start off with one that's a little bit, maybe a little bit more, not difficult, but it just takes a little bit of the big shot work. Oops, not the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine is what I meant to say. So that's the one that I'm going to do first. I love this macrame, also very trendy. I don't know how Stampin' Up is so good about being on trends, but this is definitely what we're gonna be using with today. So you're going to need your Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. You guys know I like the little mini one. And then for those of you who got the camp, all of your paper that you're going to need is inside already cut for you, your cardstock. So you need your 2 cinnamon cider pieces, and this will be for our next one. That's super, super simple. You are going to obviously just take your cinnamon cider and fold that in half. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to do a little bit of cutting of our designer series paper. We have 2 different patterns that we need to cut. The first one is another beautiful brick. Hey, do any of you guys watch that show, Property Brothers? I love it, and I always feel like this paper is like, or they have a game actually, and I play that too, and I need to veg out my brain. And this is like the brick they have in like all these beautiful houses that they're renovating. So I feel like this, again, this paper is so on trend. So it gets cut down to 4 by 5.25, and that's gonna get glued right down to the front of our card. So you can do that right away. Let me grab sorry if I'm reaching, I need to grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. You know, when you're crafting, it kind of sometimes turns into a little bit of a hurricane, but that will get glued down to the front of our card. There you go. And then next we have a piece here that we need to cut the other inside for. And it's the really pretty soft wood grain. I've got, oh nope, not that piece. You can do actually any of the wood grains, but it's this one right here. So this one is gonna get cut to, let me see, I don't have my tutorial in front of me, but so it's gonna be cut 3 by 4.5. So I'll do the 3 is this size here. So 3 by 4.5. All right, it's so hard with this paper because one side is really neat flowers, but the other side is perfect to add to it. So this is going to get glued down to the front of our card here. So let me go ahead and glue that down. There we go. So these are the 2 pieces of designer series paper that you're going to have to cut. Whenever you order my kits, I like to, Lois loves the Property Brothers too. I do too, I love them. They inspire me, I love to watch that. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do first is we are going to do a little bit of stamping. Let's get our stamping done, because then if I mess up, I can always try again on a different piece of paper. I don't want to glue everything down. So we're gonna take the cinnamon cider stamp pad. So if you had it out from yesterday, we're gonna take the cinnamon cider and we need the Just Jade. So the Just Jade and cinnamon cider stamp pads for this card. So the first thing I always do is I kind of stamp, this will go down here at the bottom. Just like that. Oh, my air conditioner. It's humid here in Michigan right now. And then on your scrap paper, so inside, again, when you ordered the kit, there's a thing here that says scrap paper, and you're going to need 3 of the sheets. You're going to need your cinnamon cider scrap paper, your Just Jade, and your soft succulent, which you used a little bit of it yesterday, and you're gonna need another small piece of it today. So I, of course, threw away my yesterdays. Here, I've got another piece of soft succulent up here. I'm always using soft succulent. It's a beautiful color. All right, so so Just Jade soft succulent. We need from our dies, let's stamp. I said we're gonna do our stamping first. So we're gonna stamp this pot, your little terracotta pot, which I really love with cinnamon cider. It couldn't be more perfect. You're going to do color on color. Now you want to stay kind of close to the edge because you're going to need your cinnamon cider piece a little bit later too. So this has to get ran through, and we have to run through soft succulent and Just Jade. All right, and a piece of the crumb cake also needs to get ran through. So this one takes, this is what I'm saying. It's a little bit of work, but it's so worth it. It's just a little bit of work. It's not horrible. Nancy, you guys know I have a Nancy. I wish you all had a Nancy, but she's not for sale. And she does this with all of my framelits for me when I get them. And so she obviously fills this out, and then she puts the picture from the catalog, and then she takes a copy of it. And so I know exactly what's in here. And so we all do, because we're using these things, you know, and then she puts it on magnetic sheets so it stays so organized. So if you watched yesterday, it wasn't done. And she watched my video and she came in here, she's like, Rhonda, we need to do that. I'm like, yes, we do. So now I got out my 3 little pieces that I need. One is for my little macrame holder. Let's run that one through. You stamp better upside down than I do right side up. Who said that? That has to be Shelly Lee. You're so funny. Somebody messaged me and asked me, why do you stamp upside down? Like, we could all figure it out. And I said, I just think, I don't know, I've had practice stamping upside down. But then if I switch to do a zoom, it's hard because zooms, you don't stamp upside down. So in Facebook Lives, we do, but then in Zooms, you don't. So it is a little tricky. Michelle said, yes, we all need a Nancy. We all do need a Nancy. I wish, I hope for you that you find a friend that's like her, because she's been working for me for what, probably 2.5 years, Nancy? Over 2 years. And the more she's here, the more she learns what I need help in. The truth is, Nancy knows that I'm kind of a hot mess. And so she's just trying to improve me all the time. And the more she's here, the more she's like, she sees I lose everything. So can you tell I lose everything? So she's trying to improve me, which I love. I love being around people that make me better. And she definitely makes me better, which means I'm better for all of you. All right, so let's run these through here. As I'm saying that, Arlena's also packaging up my Creating for Christ. All right. Oh, goodness. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Sorry. This is not as easy doing upside down. There we go. Hello, my friends. Hi, Jennifer. Yes. Finally, my Creating for Christ class is a month late. And those who buy my classes know I try to hit my deadlines. I try as hard as I can. Oh, hey, guess what? I did really good on that one. I lined that up almost perfectly. I'm pretty proud of myself. And anyway, the kits that we used went on back order without any notice, which usually Stampin' Up! Is pretty good about giving us a heads up, but they didn't on this one. So, and they went on back order for like a month and a half. So we had to wait. So anyway, we're just getting my May class out for Creating for Christ today. So I think lots of us are a hot mess. We are, but that's okay. That's how so I am, so I love to surround myself with people that are not a hot mess. Like Michelle is on here, she keeps track of me and I love it because we all need extra sets of eyes and extra sets of hands. Whoops, okay, there we go. Now you have all your pieces, all right? This is, oh, hi Judy. Yes, I'm so glad you love my classes. All right, so this is what oh, dang it. I was going to do this differently. I was going to use the adhesive sheet. If you have adhesive sheets, that's the best way to do this little macrame thing. I didn't do it first, so, oh well. I'm gonna do it with this little glue, the Tombow glue. It's just a little messier. You don't need glue down there. Just put glue on this very lightly, or you could use the thin liquid glue, but an adhesive sheet, if you guys know how to use those, that is the adhesive for choice for this. If I had to do it again, that's what I do. So I'm gonna glue that down first so that it can sit over here off to the side and dry, so I don't like to get my hands all full of glue. I should have done this one last. All right, so next we're gonna go back to here. We're almost done. Like that I know it was a little bit of work. There is these plants, and I don't know what these are, but my friend Carrie Blake bought me one of these. They're like baby pearls or something like that, and it is a succulent. So it is, I've had it for like 2 years, and I killed it. Like I haven't watered it in probably a year, and so it's dead. But guess what? The greenery stays. You would never know that it's dead, and it looks beautiful. I'll have to take a picture and show you guys because you're not gonna believe me. But literally, where did I just put that stamp? Oh goodness. See, I told you I lose everything. I just washed, maybe did I leave it in the, no, I don't know. This is what happens when you, oh gosh. It's clear too, you know, when you use clear stamps. I literally just had that stamp and I pulled it off and I was gonna hold on to it until I could wash my other stamps. I think I stuck it somewhere. I don't know. Oh look, I just stuck my hand in that glue. Can you believe I did that? Do you mind getting me a little wet wipe, Arlena? I just had that stamp and I just stuck it. Let's see if someone sees. String of pearls. Yes, Pam, it's string of pearls. It's exactly what it's called. And it's so beautiful. And literally, I killed it. I didn't water it. And then I was gonna cry because it's really, really a very cool, it is so funny. Well, we're gonna use, for this one, a different stamp. Thank you. Because who knows where, oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna get glue everywhere I'm gonna leave this here in case I need it again. All right, so we are going to use this flower, this green leaf, instead of the one that's there, although I love that one. I need to throw that away so I don't stick my hand in it again. All right, we're gonna do this one, and this is with the Just Jade. And it's gonna go right about here in the middle. I'm gonna do 2 of them because I'm gonna try to get the look of the sample. I'll show you the sample that's using the correct stamp. Check the bottom of your ink pads. Oh, that's a good idea. Nope, they're not there. That was suggestions by 2 people. I just had it in my hand, but it's okay. We're gonna use this one instead. All right, so then see, cause look, this will go just as good and you'll like never know that I did that. All right, let's, then also I'm gonna take a little bit of glue and put back here in the back of the pot, and we're going to just sprout out these 2 plants. This is what I'm saying. This has so much variety that you can do with this one. There you go. And then we're gonna put some dimensionals back there. It is pretty. Thank you, Shelly. Shelly just joined my team, my Rubber Queens. She just joined a couple days ago. I'm so excited about that. Everyone who knows me knows my Rubber Queens are like my heart and soul. I love them. My team. Oh, you overwatered your if when you overwater your string of pearls, you can kill it too, I guess. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and thread this through. This is your linen thread, and linen, you're definitely gonna want linen thread when you're using, copying any of these projects. We used it a lot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that through there. And then this is, I got my dimensionals, and I kind of gonna position this where I want it, and then I'll glue down my linen thread. All right, so it's a little sticky there. Let's position this right there. And then this linen thread, I'm just gonna pull and just glue down here on the back. I'm actually gonna, let's take a little bit of glue and put there. And then this goes down with your dimensionals as well. I just put that in the ink pad. There we go. So how many of you lose stamps like that? Like I bet you Arlena will find it when she comes back here. I know who knows? When they're clear, sometimes it's tricky. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on. You can't figure out how to view or watch Angie's cards. So Kayleen, I sent you the tutorial, so you have her tutorial. And then on the emails that I sent you, I also gave you Ange's Facebook, because Ange is doing hers as well, but also I'm doing Ange's. So you just keep watching me. So I'm gonna do all 10. I'll do all 10 projects over the course of the 3 days. So today I'm gonna do one of Ange's, and I'll do all the rest of Ange's tomorrow. So just hang tight. We are doing it over 3 days. But if you want to work ahead, you absolutely can. We sent you those tutorials. So, but if you want to watch us make them together, then you just got to watch our Facebooks. But if you want to watch Ange, because she's funny, I love Ange, then you can watch her Facebooks at night. But I'm doing all 10 projects. All right, so here is the one that has the string of pearls that I was telling you about that I lost somewhere here on my desk. And then here's the one that I did with that variety. Look, you would never even know, right? Such a beautiful, fun card. You were there, and I'm very grateful. So if you have a friend who has been there for you, then this would be a great card that you can send them. Or a family member. I'm sure we all have people like that in our lives. All right, my next card is so simple. So some of those took a lot of putting together. So I did that card and this card together intentionally, because that one was, kind of a little bit of work. And just because you have to run through different things. My next one is gonna be 2, but this one I'm doing is so stinking cute and simple, which of course, we all love that, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is we have a piece of our soft succulent, and we are going to run that through if you don't have the scalloped contour dies, then that's what you want to do. I'm gonna have Nancy do that for me really quick. Is Nancy still here? Because this one you have to do on the regular Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Nancy, can you run my piece of soft succulent and it's about, probably about an inch and a quarter off the front flap there. So Nancy's gonna go run that through. If you don't have the contours dies, you need to buy them. I use them all the time. Like, I use it on almost every single project. So you definitely wanna make sure that you have and own them. If you don't own them though, you can just do a straight cut. You can do any kind of border that you want to, but I really love this one. All right, so now we gotta cut that paper. And I did cut it kind of specifically because I wanted it to be positioned just exactly so. So let me grab a piece of that paper. You don't wanna waste it necessarily, but you do waste a little bit of it, because what I want is this open space up here. So I'm gonna cut where I need to give myself space to be able to stamp my thank you. So pretty much you're going to be cutting it's at 6 inches. So I cut it at 6 inches first, and then I go through and I'm going to cut this down to 3. So, 4. You're going to cut it down to 4. So this is a 3 by 4 piece. And so But the reason why I had to cut it at 6 first was because I needed this white space up here at the top. Now I can cut it to 3, like I said. So you get a 3x4 piece. All right, awesome, perfect. So Nancy took a little bit of that off of there for me. And okay, so next up, we need to cut the inside. And the inside is that like a gray, I hope I have some of this left. I use this piece so much. Let's see. I might have to use a different gray because I think I've used pretty much every piece I have of it. It's this, oh, it's the one you just did, duh. So that piece left over, we need to cut this 4 by 5 1/4. So the piece that we have left over, you can cut by 4 by 5 1/4. I do only have just a little bit of that left. So it doesn't matter where you cut this one because, there you go. All right, so now we got that. That's gonna get glued down to the inside. All right. Nancy, I hate to bug you, but I need a little bit more of it taken off, only just because I don't think it's not gonna lay quite right. So I should have given you the sample so you can see about where it needs to come off at. Do you see? Oh, whoops. Yeah. Only just so that this will, yes, you can take it with you because I'll do this part. All right, we're gonna be using the thank you out of there. I wanna do to a dear friend actually, because I'll have a sample that says thank you and then this one that says to a dear friend. And you're going to stamp this with our evening evergreen. So we only used 5 different colors with this suite. So to a dear friend was up there at the top, just like that. And it's going to get glued down to a piece of our basic white that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. It just basically layers on that. You could also put a layer of the evening evergreen if you wanted to too. I just wanted to keep this card nice and simple. We've done lots of them that are a little bit more. So this one now we're going to tie, I cannot tie bows upside down. I can stamp upside down, cannot tie bows upside down. So we're going to take the soft succulent ribbon that we used. We use this throughout the camp. So if you purchased the camp, you were able to get your own ribbon too. That was included there for you. And we will tie a bow, which is not as easy said than done when you're on a video. Let me see, almost. Oh dang, I gotta start over. All right, be patient with me here. Bows are not my specialty. I actually, when I very first started Stampin' Up, I would never tie bows. I just did knots, always did knots. But since I've been around a little bit, and my friend Erica Serwin, I stamp with her a lot too. She always is tying bows, so she's really pushing me out of my comfort zone with the bows. And I love her projects. She puts big, beautiful bows on her projects. Thank you. All right, so Nancy took a little bit more off of that for me. So when you cut off if you cut it or whatever, you want to take off about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I would say that's about 1.5 inches. And then we're going to glue down that to the inside, like that. And I did stamp the inside and decorate it. I used that string of pearls, which I'm not going to today because I can't find it. And then I used behind, like in the succulent, and then I used that ferny looking thing up at the top with the evening evergreen. So you can definitely decorate that how you want to there on the inside. You could use any of them. They're so pretty. All right, so that's the inside. Look, this one's almost done. I told you this one was gonna be sweet and simple. You just only need to put adhesive on here. Michelle said, how do you talk and create at the same time? You know, I think of years of practice. I multitask usually pretty well. There you go. Then you take your genial gems. These are spectacular. And we're going to sprinkle those on. I have my little picker tool here and just sprinkle those on And then this is a really sweet and simple card that you guys can whip up. So this bundle can be more complicated, or I'm gonna put one more, or it can be simple if you want it to be. And just use the paper, the stamps, and then you're good to go. So there you go. There, and here's the one that is in the tutorial. It's a thank you. And I did have, oh, I gotta put a gem inside. Yep, definitely need a little gem on the inside, just like that. There you go. Oh, beautiful, thank you. All right, we got one more. Do you guys have time for one more? So this is, those were my 5 projects that I did. So if you are looking at the tutorial, if you're following along there, or if you, yesterday, the 5 projects that I did were 5 cards, or four cards, and then the box of the note cards. So those ones we completed 3 yesterday, and those 2. So now I'm gonna move on to Ange's projects, all right? So these are 5 more, and I'll show one of them today, and this one was like my favorite. So again, we put, it'll say Summer Stamp Camp, Plentiful Plants, Ange's projects. And we're gonna start off with the gray granite. There is, it's not this gray granite one, it's the next gray granite one. And there's a piece with it that is already done for you, this piece here. I wanna talk to you, I'll put these back in order. So I need those for tomorrow. We'll finish up the rest of those tomorrow. So for this one, we're using gray granite, and Ange sent me this picture, and I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And I had not purchased this, so I had to purchase it for this class, and we did this for you. It's brand new, so I didn't think everyone would have it, and I wanted to make sure that this really is a big, big part to this card. So it's the stitched greenery, and it is just one big framelit, or one big, die, and it just puts the stitching of this greenery. Can you guys see that in there? So love it. It makes a huge impact, I think, on the background on any card. So I was glad that Ange used it. I mean, it made me have to buy it, but now I have it, and I can use it on more and more of my projects, and not just with this suite, but with all of them. So, and again, we're just doing color on color, so it's gray granite, and it's on a piece of gray granite. Now the next, I'm following along with you guys on the tutorial, so we're gonna have to cut a couple pieces of designer series paper, and I wrote this down, here we go. The first one, there are 2 squares that you're going to do. You need this pattern here, and then you need this pattern here. And we're going to cut oops, that's the same one, Rhonda. This pattern here, these 2 patterns. So the bigger one is going to be a 2 5/8 inch square. And always likes to use those trickier numbers. So 2 5/8 is that square. Oops, I scored that, I need to cut it. Try again. So that's this one. The background is that pretty brick. And then this smaller ferny looking piece is a 2 1/8 inch square. So it's a little bit smaller. And then she did a circle. So she took, I actually did love how she really pieced the paper together. And then the last one was that, this pattern that I love. She did it with a circle. So you can use the circle framelits. I personally still love to use, I have a 2 1/2 inch circle punch, so that's what I'm using. But if you have the framelits, you can run that through too. So really any size circle is gonna work, right? So this first one we are going to do, we're going to glue down the bigger one directly to the background of the card. So this is the bigger square. We're going to glue down just directly, and let me look at this right side up for a second. There you go. And then the other one we are going to put down with dimensionals. So this one's gonna have a little bit of a pop to it. And so will the circle. All right, so there's that one. And that's gonna get glued down there too. Now this one's gonna take a little bit of die cutting as well, and stamping. So it's good. We're gonna have fun like building together our paper dolls, but instead we're using paper plants. And then the circle also gets put down with some dimensionals. We love, oops, that one I got a little crazy on. Let's try again. Here we go. Gosh, guys, I still can't find that stamp. I kept thinking it was just gonna pop out in front of me somewhere. It will, I'm sure, at some point in time. All right. And then this is going to get put right down here to the middle, kind of between those two. So there is, now there it is, right? This is how you kind of start it. Now we're going to add all of the different plants and pieces and vases. And this is going to be a mixture between doing it out of paper and doing it out of the stamps. So the first one we need is this one right here. So let's do that guy or girl real quick. And this needs to go on the bottom. The other one was not flat enough. So let's jump into there. Put my cutter over here. That one will go first. All right. This also has a stamp for it, but let's run that one through. What is beautiful about this card when we're all done is you'll see that it has so many different textures to it because Ange mixed in stamping, paper, and just regular cardstock. So the other pot we need is out of cardstock. So it's cinnamon cider. So grab that scrap piece that we put in there for you, or grab a scrap piece. And then we're gonna do one of these little bowls. I haven't used this yet. Oh, this is really neat. So just one of these little tiny bowls, which is really good for like succulents. So the flower or the plant that goes with this little bowl, let's see, is going to be one that we're gonna actually hand cut out. And I put it up here. Let me grab it real quick. Maybe it's right here, let's see. Nope. It's a little tiny succulent. Again, it's on the back of these papers. You're gonna find it. You're gonna find it here. All right, I did. Here it is. So this one. You need this little guy right there. And yes, it's a little bit of fussy cutting again. Yesterday, I asked you the question if you prefer fussy cutting or not, and overwhelmingly, most people said no. But there were some people who loved it. So again, it was probably not quite 50-50. It was probably 60-40. 60 that were like, fussy cutting stresses me out. And then 40% were like, I love it. It's so calming. Isn't that funny how God made us all so different? That's what I love. So I always say, people are like, oh, well, not everybody likes me. I'm like, well, not everybody's gonna like you. We're all so different. They obviously don't hate you, but they're not gonna like do everything you want because everybody's different. So just embrace what you are, and there'll be people out there that love it. All right, so I did fussy cut, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't awful. I'm gonna take a little bit of a mini glue dot with this one. Oh, good, there comes and that's gonna go, there's a little mini glue dot there on the end, and then that's gonna go under our little pot. So you see the variety and the fun. Oh, it's so cute. It's like a little miniature, belongs in like a little fairy garden. How fun. All right, now everything else I believe has to be stamped. So I just wanted to make sure I got all of that done. So we're gonna do a little bit of stamping. So we gotta take out we got some scrap white that we're gonna be using. And we're gonna stamp hopefully not that string of pearls, because I don't have it. It's not. We're gonna be stamping this one twice, and we're gonna be stamping this one, and see if you guys can see those, and the pot. We stamped the pot quite a bit. All right, so let's do, first off will be the cinnamon cider, and that's gonna be our pot. These I don't need anymore. I'll stick them here for now I'm not gonna clean them right yet. I'll clean them later. Let's get our pot real quick with our cinnamon cider. And then I'm just gonna stamp this all at once so we got it. And then I need our Just Jade with this, we use this one a lot, this little, I don't even know, greenery piece. And that one is gonna be on there. And then we stamped that again with our Evening Evergreen, but probably not quite so dark. It looks like, I'm gonna wash my stamp off real quick. So it's Evening Evergreen. Yep, it's Evening Evergreen and Just Jade. So if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can do it full strength. Yep, I think it actually looks good. So, and then the Just Jade. All right. Also, you want to take and cut like about a 3/4 inch strip of your white. So I'm going to cut that real quick. This will go through our the cut and wash machine. This one is going to have our words on it. Our words are thank you, with cinnamon cider, and it's going to go kind of, let's see here, up towards the top, because we want to have a room that has this piece. We'll see if it fits. It says so very much. This is a little tricky. Here we go. And I have ink everywhere. Let's see. And that is in Evening Evergreen, which I had it. Oh, here it is. Open it back up. This one, guys, I might have to face it at me. All right. Oh, it fits perfectly. So very much. Look at that. So this is just your little, and of course you can use different words if you want to. I just want to get all my stamping done so I can get these stamp pads out of here, because you know, oh, but I'm not done. I still need that one more, and it's Evening Evergreen. All right, one more Evening Evergreen with this little jobby. I don't know what kind of plant this is too. You guys might know that one as well. And I'll put this here. All right, so this is what I stamped for this card. I'm going to check back on you guys. Maybe the string of pearls is stuck. I'm gonna look. I'm glad that you're still looking for me, Shelly. All right, cinnamon cider was not one of my favorite colors at all, but it definitely has grown on me. All right, so let's jump into just running these things through real quick, and then we will be ready to just assemble. So I like to just kind of get all my pieces together, and I can do these two at the same time. You may want to do them not at the same time to really take the time to line it up, but you know me, I'm all about just like winging it and making sure, and also just kind of saving a little bit of time. Let's see. I keep doing this. I don't get my plates lined up. There we go. So your plates have to be lined up together to go through better. All right, a snake plant. Yes, Pam, that's what it is. My daughter-in-law, well, my son and daughter-in-law bought me one for Mother's Day, and I have not killed that one yet. It's still alive, but it's a snake plant. It's exactly what it is. It's a kind of like a succulent, but it doesn't really need as much watering as some other high maintenance plants. So that one is very good for me too. All right, now we got that one other one here. There you go. Yes, it's the snake plant. Or a mother-in-law. That's terrible that it's a mother-in-law or snake plant. How come they have those names so close together? Snake plants are not killable. Oh, France, that is so good to know. Neither is that little string of pearls I have. Like, it's dead. It's been in there for 2 years, but it looks as good as the day that it was still alive. It just doesn't grow anymore. All right, there we go. All the work is done. I always say this is kind of like when you wear high heels. Like, they're not really comfortable and they're not really fun, but the end result is usually worth it. So there we go. There's all of our pieces. Now let's just put it together. So on the back of this terracotta one, I'm gonna put some adhesive, And both of these plants go there. So they line up kind of over each other, and you can do whichever way you want to. So there's one. See, we're building that baby up. And then this one, this little pot here, and you'll see if you're looking at this card in person that what really is cool about this card is all the variety of the textures, because you have real cardstock, the paper, and then stamped images. So it's really, really cool. Mother-in-law's tongue, maybe because it's sharp. Well, some mother-in-laws, and you know, everybody sometimes has sharp tongues, probably. Okay, so let's see if we can now put this all together. So the first thing I want to do is get my greeting. And so I'm gonna just snip this off here, like that. And then I'm going to cut this end at a banner. So how I do my banners, I just kind of go in the middle there, and then just go from side to side. Of course, you can use like a square punch as well if you want to. All right, and this is gonna get glued down. Probably so it's like halfway through the circle. You just don't want this to be hanging off, but it's really pretty close to the end. So I put that on there just like that. And now we just layer up our plants. This one I'm gonna glue directly down to this, and it's just gonna go right here by the edge of this one. Let's see. And you could also, there you go. So there's our first little plant there. These little guys we're gonna use dimensional. So this card has a lot of lift, a lot of texture to it. It's beautiful. And then our next one will be this one, and this will go right down here. And then our last one is this one. There you go. What do you guys think? Isn't this pretty incredible? It's so gorgeous. Now, Ange, the last thing we did is sprinkled on our genial gems, and I've got them right here. And just put a couple of them, you know, just right here. I like my little picker, it's got a little pickle tool. This just right here on the circles has a couple genial gems, big one and a little one. Actually, all of the colors would go really, really well, but that's just something little that you can add to it. And there's also one more here right on the middle of this plant. I am gonna put it actually here in the middle of up there on this one. I'm gonna do it with the matching color on color, just enough little bit of a sparkle there for that. And then if you want to, you can add on a linen thread bow, right? Because you got that linen thread. This is not in the sample, but I think this is like a really awesome card. So I just wanted to add one more little touch to it, which you don't have to if you don't want to, but hey, it's your card, right? So this one was designed by my friend Ange McKay. I'm so in love with it. What makes it special, even extra special, is that background. There you go. Lots of texture, lots of beauty. And that's our third project for today. Our stamp camp for today is done for day 2. Remember, you go ahead and leave your comments to me. Let me know what you think. That card was a workout. Well, it was. But you know what? Workouts are good, Michelle. That's the only way that you get to get in better shape, right? So then when you do another one, it's gonna be like, oh, that's a piece of cake. That's why I did this one today, and then I did this one, right? Because this one is super simple and easy, but still beautiful and just very different. And then this was one that required a little bit more work. But it's not hard. It's just cutting out all those pieces and then layering them up. Thank you. You guys love the cards. So today we did this one, and this one. So look how just uniquely different that they all are, but also just so beautiful. All right, thank you for being here. Again, you can share this video. You can also, you can look into Creative Corner if you want the tutorials with the directions. Good luck finding your missing stamp. Thank you. Tomorrow I will give you an update and see where the heck I put it, because it was just right in my hand and I set it down to clean the other stamps. So it's here somewhere. We are gonna find it, trust me. I don't think Arlena will give up until she finds it. All right, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time at 2 o'clock for our third day. Bye-bye.